That is a detail brush. Also, this has red in it, and it almost messed up my other mini. Let's see if I can... If any red comes out. Okay. Oh, no. So I threw this out on Twitter, and no one actually replied, which surprised me, because I usually get every reply guy under the sun when I post stuff like this. Especially other people who stream. What do you do when you have people that come into your chat, like especially if they're new to your stream or new to your community? And the first thing they do is like, oh, I've platinumed this game. I've got 8,000 hours in it. And it's like, that's nice for you. Why do you think I care? Because we had it yesterday when I was doing a little bit of Kerbal 2. And it's like, honestly, you just arrived in this channel. Why do you think I give any bit of a fuck about how many hours you've put into a game I'm not even playing? Like, I need to understand this mindset. Wow. I mean, I wasn't going there, but it's just like, I've never understood that. We get that a lot with people who come in and they're like, oh, well, I've platinumed this. And it's like, cool. Would you like a cookie? And I don't think I could have been any more I simply do not care. Oh, me too. Well, it's like, it was Kerbal 2. But it was just like, and when they said, oh, are you new to Kerbal? I'm like, I see where this is going. It'd be kind of hard to get you a cookie, Mads, but I'm sure someone will give you one. Hey, Ren. But it's just like, I don't understand the point of coming into a stream and doing that, I guess. I mean, I don't even know your real name or where you live, so it'd be kind of hard to send you cookies regardless. So, like, DJ got that. Well, DJ was getting just straight up back seating when we were playing Destiny yesterday. And he's been multi-streaming to TikTok. At the same time, because he's got the followers and can stream to TikTok as well. And he had some dude, because it was probably a dude, that I guess kept asking him all kind of questions. I was like, why don't you use this weapon? Why don't you use that weapon? You should really do this. And DJ, I'm not sure what you do on TikTok, banned, blocked. But here's the thing. You're waiting until you can play it or what have you. You're not going into streams being a know-it-all, Mads. This dude apparently really could not get it through his head that DJ had just returned to Destiny after an absence and was trying to like get through a couple things. Got you. Hey, technicality. I mean, that's why we have an etiquette command. But it's like, but then the dude came over to Twitch and kept going. And we're all like, what? It's like, don't you have somewhere to be that's not here? But he was one of those, well, I platinumed and this is what you should use. Tell your friend to go home. Hey, Aimless. Really? And that sounded really incredulous. I'm sorry, that's not how I meant that. I mean, you are home, I guess. But I have zero shame. I'll be like, it was nice to see you. You need to go home now. I'm tired of people. I don't know, Ren. I really don't know. But they kept bringing up, and and even me, as like we took a break and like finally just said, DJ finally just said, F this, we're doing normal difficulty. Because we were trying to do the last Witch Queen. We were trying to do the Savathun fight on Legendary, and we just weren't hitting it. And that was with Grim, who's like hardcore Destiny player and stuff like that. I mean, it's punishing, but then like after trying so hard on Legendary, it was a cakewalk. We got it in one round on normal, and we all were like, really? I'm gonna open the blinds so I can get some natural sunlight. Sorry if you get a boob shot. But also, I would like to see outside. I have not been outside except for yesterday morning briefly, and that's my own problem. Sunlight, yay! What? Wait, what? Who is this? I can go fight them. See, that's the thing where it's like, okay, first off, fuckface. But that's not the point, and that's why people, I feel like, get so hung up on numbers early. Because they see, like, people have been streaming forever that have audiences that would show up and watch them literally read the phone book. Because they've cultivated that. But you don't have to prove anything to anyone. I just start saying your mother should have swallowed, yet here we are. No, you are not remembering wrong. I switched to the Mevos to do exclamation MEVO, and you'll learn about the camera that I'm using. I've got 3 of these cameras, but I keep having problems with them because every time there's an update between either Mevo or OBS, they lose connectivity. And I was using them via NDI connection. Mevo had an update, and then I couldn't get NDI to work anymore. And I finally got it to work wired, because after OBS made their major updates, the NDI plugin I had doesn't work anymore. And I just said, you know what? It showed up via wired. Let's go. Because people are obsessed with numbers. And also, the content creator space and ability to get opportunities is tied to your concurrent viewership for a lot of places. I'm going to make that a darker brown for the arms. I mean, look at even getting partner. It is tied to having at least 75 concurrent viewers over a month-long period on average. Oh, I think I heard Jasmine, Bronze Girl, say that once, and it stuck with me, and I was like, well, here we are. Okay, that is a lot of brown with 1 part black, because I'm going to make this a darker brown. I don't really have a super dark brown anywhere. Because people are just rude also, Mads. I mean, at the end of the day, some people are just fucking rude. That's the long and the short of it. But again, content creator culture is really tied to numbers for some reason. I mean, I know exactly the reason, because capitalism. But like, I think it trickled down from like Instagram bullshit too. Because with Instagram, you know, like, oh, you don't have 100,000 followers, I want to talk to you. And there are some companies that won't talk to you unless you're a Twitch partner, which, okay, cool, you're a Twitch partner. It just means you met a metric once and got the check mark. That doesn't mean that you and your community are the kind of people they may necessarily want representing their brand. Because I was straight up, I don't think my partner application was approved. Oh, wait, that is flesh tone. That is, because Geralt wears fingerless gloves, doesn't he? Or no? Where's his arm? Which sounds weird to say. Are these fingerless? These are fingerless. Whoops. Sorry, Geralt. I will fix that in post. What? Wait, what? What do you mean? Oh, I get those all the time, technicality. Like, that's why I kind of despair about growing on Instagram, simply because a majority of my follows are bots. And I wake up and it's like Tumblr before they got rid of porn. Are these fingerless? I don't know. I may just not worry about it and paint. Nope. You know what? Geralt's not wearing fingerless gloves, I've decided. Well, it's not even that. It's just like, I don't know. I don't have good words for it. And actually, I think I'm going to redo everything in this darker brown. I like it better, and I don't think it'll clash as much with the silver. Well, also, and I talked about this a little bit when I was hanging out on DJ's stream, when we were chatting to not like Scream and losing to Sabathun so much. The whole weirdo behavior of, I see you're following so and so, and controversial idea. Maybe go find a fucking hobby instead of worrying about who I'm following. There's a thought. Yeah, I'm gonna do this dark brown and then do the straps in the light leather brown. Well, like, perfect example, because when you mentioned a partner streamer becoming the main character of Twitter, apparently I was following that chick who was making a big deal about people using Say Her Name for Brianna Gay's murder. And somewhere in the thread and the comments and replies, she called a black person a Nazi for disagreeing with her. And true, I probably would have never seen that had it not been brought to my attention. But it started out with the, did you know you're following this person? I see I'm following them. What's your point? Like, if you feel the need to do that kind of stuff, lead with the context. Because once I saw the context, okay, yeah, I'm mad with you. Yeah, so there was one of the people that was like, hey, say her name was coined specifically in regard to black women murdered by the police, or, you know, black trans women that are being murdered. And it's like, you know, people were respectfully saying, you know, that's a thing that was coined by black activists around the murders of like Sandra Bland and other people. You maybe don't co-opt it, which I don't know how I feel about it, but, you know, I also wasn't trying to be a main character on Twitter that day or ever. Hey, Dandy. And I can get it. I understand the sentiment, you know, as a black femme myself. However, doubling down and then calling someone who literally just disagreed with you a fucking Nazi, people are a little too loose with that word. I'm like, do you know what that means? Do you actually know what that word means? Pirate, hello, friendo. I thoroughly enjoyed Power Wash Simulator last night, and I may even switch to Power Wash Sim after I get some mini painting done. So I have a question, and I'm not trying to be obtuse, honest to God. At what point did stupid be considered ableist? And I honestly don't know. I feel like I missed that memo. And again, I'm not trying to be funny. I really don't know. Oh, that too, Riku. That too. Because there was no way in anyone's hell that that should have been a word flung at this black queer person who basically online had just been like, hey, maybe let's not co-opt uh, a phrase that has been designated specifically for this purpose. I don't know, Puddle. Look, I basically at this point log in, retweet my friends, say something ridiculous if I'm in the mood for it. If I'm grumpy, then you get my 5 a.m. thread. I know, but why should I care who you follow? At the end of the day, unless it's someone who is actively harmful, you know, maybe a murderer, I don't know. Why should I monitor who my friends are following? Now, if it's someone who has harmed me and I see you're still following them, I may feel a way about it, but we are all adults. I cannot make anyone unfollow someone else. But also, without fail, whenever this stuff happens, it's always somebody who clearly has literally nothing else to do. Like, how do you have time to know all of this shit? Like, do you have no hobbies, no friends, no books to read? That's where I'm always stuck. Like, ain't you got anything else to do? Anything. Like, anything that will keep you offline and out of people's DMs on some, did you know you're following so and so? Yes. Yes, I did. In some cases, I honestly don't remember I ever followed the person. Well, with me, and I don't know what it is, but for me, it's always the timing, because without fail, it'll be, I'm traveling, I'm not home. Imagine that. I'm not on Twitter 24/7. Because some of us go outside. Imagine that. I mean, some people do farm drama for clicks. That's not a doubt. But some people really just ain't got nothing else to do. I just realized I am hungry. My stomach just growled at me. How are you, pirate? I mean, it's very possible it's a block list, and if that's me, it could be somebody you follow, because I got harassed a lot by Gamergate. And I had at one point had to utilize a block list to even use Twitter. And because I could not peaceably be on that site. Man, Puddle. I wish people understood that, but I guess some people. Well, you follow like somebody. Ooh, I almost broke Geralt's hair. Um, Somebody once messaged me, "You follow Gal Gadot." I'm like, oh, okay. And they felt like me following Gal Gadot, a celebrity, somehow was an implicit endorsement of her personal politics, which I didn't even know. But it was like, and I was like, this woman does not know I exist. She has over 1 million followers, but it really deeply bothered them that I followed her on social media. I was like, okay, so I've unfollowed her, now what? And they really had no answer, and it was because they took a Twitter follow as implicit support for whatever her personal politics are. I mean, I think I followed her because of Wonder Woman. Like, probably most of those 1 million people that were following her. Because a Discord I'm in, this conversation, I don't know, because I always found him useless. Like, I found him just irritating to exist, literally. Um, and some people still follow now that he's back on Twitter, because of course he is. I don't know. I mean, it was relevant to the person because they're Palestinian, but it's like they took a social media follow as implicit approval slash agreement with politics I wasn't even aware she had. And I'm like, do you know that sometimes a social media follow is literally just a social media follow? I guess I was more impressed because I follow over 20,000 people, which I should probably trim down at some point. Um, because I made the rookie mistake of following everyone back at first, and I don't do that anymore. I mean, look at like the shit I went through for playing Cyberpunk 2077. And, those people literally slandered me. and nobody said shit. So that was one where I was like, oh, these people literally lied on me, and yet you still interact with them. Cool. Good to know. Hey, Meridu. I've got. So I feel like I harp on this a lot. Um, I have conflicting emotions tied to what I went through just trying to do an activation around the game. Because I do like the game, Cyberpunk is absolutely my aesthetic. Um, Visually, but the fact that people that I'd known for that long could think that ill of me over a video game, it's more than stung a little bit. Oh, hi, Pirate. I thought maybe you were in. I thought you were in Meeting Heck. But that is a good point. Oop, let me get that. I will send you emotional strength to get through Meeting Heck. But I am glad you're here. All right. How's Geralt looking? So what I decided to do was I took the leather brown and added a drop of black to make it a darker brown. And this is very early on, so. Oh, boo. Double boo. I'm sorry. I was going to ask if you wanted to Destiny, but if you have to go in the office, let me know if you feel like it. Because I'm not going to be on literally all day because A, I've got things to do, and B, at some point I will need like actual food. And I've also got to check email about scheduling some things. And I've got a short trip to LA coming up, and I need to get in and get my hair done. Oh, absolutely, Ren. But again, we know that there are people. We know that there are people who want to fight every battle they encounter. They don't give a shit about anyone else. And all they want to do is be right online. And those are the people I feel like, that'll do the moral superiority of, I see that you like to tweet about this thing. How dare you? And I'm like, first off, go find a fucking hobby. Or to use the overused phrase, go touch some fucking grass. Ooh. Oh, well, that's fun, Pirate. I hope you have fun. And I'm very excited to see you soon. Because for those who are lucky enough to get one, Pirate gives amazing hugs. No, that was not a clue to go ask Pirate for a hug. I'm just saying, for those of you lucky enough to get a hug from Pirate. I mean, if I'm not telling someone to touch grass, I'm like, go jump off a pier. Hi, Hayes. Oh, absolutely, because, perfect example. Someone who unfortunately I still have to interact with because we're in a lot of the same spaces in terms of sponsors and activations and activities. Oh, Pirate! Before I forget, Rufus should arrive today. So hopefully he will show up when you are home to get him. But it's UPS. Yeah, I think I forwarded you the tracking info. If not, I'll do so. What doggo? Oh, yes. Painting Pirate has a lovely greyhound named Kyros and a grumpy little cat named Sonya. And they are both amazing pets. And if you do like mini painting streams, you should check out Pirate and Panda and Zero should he pop up. Although I know it's demon hours for him because he's an hour behind me. Kyros is the best boy. He is very soft. Okay, my one gripe with this leather brown is it's dull. It's very matte finish. Kyros is the softest boy. Aw, I forgot you had an actual Kyros emote. Oh, I've been on an hour and a half. I should probably take a little break and also get clean paint water. Everyone stretch, get meds, get a snack. I'm gonna actually make a snack and get some more water for this palette and close it because I learned the hard way that it can fold up like a dry orange peel. I'll leave you to stare at Jerry. I don't know why I started calling him Jerry, but I'm gonna give you a BRB. I'm gonna get a quick bio, refresh my coffee, and hey, and Nightbot was on time with that reminder, so enjoy. I'm gonna give you a BRB screen if I didn't break that too, and back in a couple minutes. I've beat the timer back, but I have not gotten coffee, so I'm gonna switch scenes and take you with me to the kitchen. Hey, Webble. Alright, I'm back, but I failed to update, oh my god, top up my coffee. Wow, those are words I said. I said update my coffee, y'all. Maybe I should have had breakfast before the stream. So, since I clearly need some kind of protein / brain food, I'm going to very quickly make a peanut butter sandwich. I don't know if you all can still hear me because the music's up. We're going to quickly make a sandwich as soon as I find the peanut butter. Guess who lost the peanut butter? You can hear me. All right, I'm pretty sure you all can hear me now that I'm back in the living room and almost back to the desk. Sorry about that. I have no idea how well you all could actually hear me once I was over in the kitchen. Of people in chat, Panda knows the distance I had to go. Hey, Randall, how are you? Yeah, I'm back in the office now. As you can see by the peanut butter sandwich I just sat down. Thank you. Yeah, I think Friday mornings or Friday evenings, depending on life, will be a painting day. Hedgehog facts! We have hedgehog facts, yay! Thank you for subscribing to Hedgehog Facts. Today's hedgehog fact is, hedgehogs can't roll while they're curled up. Sonic is a lie. Does Seeger like peanut butter? Can I make a YouTube playlist repeat? Yes, I can. Haha. I have a package from Logitech? Hey, Prax, thank you for your resub. I'm about to sit back down. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. Hello, hello. I really love one Kelly. All right, I'm gonna sit down. I've adjusted everything. Yes, it is. You told me about the shop. That explains it. Hi, Mivyard, how are you? Ignore the peanut butter sandwich. It is. Jerry's getting painted. There is no sandwich. I don't know what you're talking about. But Kelly actually texted me and told me to eat breakfast, and I'm like, uh-huh. And then I realized I can't focus. I should eat something. It's quick protein. And also I can wrap up the other half of the sandwich and come back to it. So, easy. Sorry, my mouth is full. Make jokes of that as you will. Sorry. As I'm wearing a headset mic, it's probably worse if I chew or swallow. But I needed something really quick. Use clap emotes for Panda, please. Yep, there we go. That fits right there. Oh, that's a file. That's not what I needed. And that is not a dry brush, so yeah. What is it? Because it's hard for me to click out since I'm on my phone. Oh, welcome, Miv. How are you? By the way, for those that have not seen it, I'm actually testing out the Twitch alerts. So Twitch is working. Oh, I somehow got a D8 in my peanut butter. Nice. I got a D8 in my peanut butter. Sounds like something only that could happen on a stream. It is a forbidden snack. I didn't even mean to do it. It just wound up there. All right, we're back. Yay. Okay, so I'm going to switch to... Actually, let me get a drop of brown in to get this part of his gauntlet. Yay, sleeps. A little brown so I can get that part of his gauntlet. My teeth are already bad enough. I do not need to add to that by actually trying to eat dice. Okay, this is the fine detail brush. Oh yeah, I'm painting an arm. I'm unarmed. I would like to know your secrets because I absolutely did not get enough sleep. It is still My Body Betrayed Me a Clock in Shay Cipher. I know. I will glue it on shortly. But for whatever reason, they print... Probably because of the sword, and I need to get the sword straightened out. But the sword was separate. So I'm going to do his armor and then switch to the base. Unfortunate, but I understand. I woke up every couple of hours last night. And I hate life. Oh, I meant to. You know what's funny? I have a picture of all the Witcher things that people have sent me off my previous wish list. And in front of it is the signed Witcher art that Doug did for me when I did a cameo order. So I keep meaning to send him that photo, and I have not. And I don't literally hate life. I'm not well rested. And it is like I've lost count of my body betraying me in certain ways. So there's Geralt's arm. He will get it back once I'm done with the rest of him. Can you DM me that? Because I'm looking at chat on my phone. I don't know what Logitech could have sent me. The mystery package, because the package also did not weigh 5 pounds. The one that I got kept saying 4 pounds on FedEx. I want that, but it is fun. So can actually someone grab a link to Arcane Arts, Nox's book? Silver. There was silver in the intermediate set. No, that's fine. I wanted silver, so it's beautiful. There is silver in here somewhere. That is gray. Because this is the intermediate set. Oh, maybe there's no silver in here. Maybe I'm mistaken. It's not like I don't have plenty of silver. So, Miv, I highly recommend that book. Not just because my friend made the book, but it is one of the most straightforward, easy to follow ways I've seen to learn mini painting. Yes, how do you like that silver? So I'm going to get his chainmail done. And then I'm trying to figure out what should be for the straps. You're welcome. And then a lot of the minis are Hero Forge minis that are in that book, because Nox collaborates with them. And actually, where did she go? This is the one I did on the stream the other day. It's the second one I did, where I actually went through and painted a base coat really quick while the other one was drying, and then worked on her. The face is still not done because the face is a lot. Faces are a lot for me on minis. I don't have the manual dexterity for them. She's an elven warrior, and that mini was created to talk about painting flesh tones, because she's basically just wearing kind of a toga. There's a lot of skin showing. So, that's why she was picked for that. Also, sorry, I realized my mic keeps moving away from my face. This is chainmail silver from Vallejo. And I didn't do what is the damn phrase that everyone hates? I didn't do the slap chop method on this one because there's too many variations in what he's got on and the face, which is why I'm just painting section by section, and we'll do a wash at the end. What do you stream, Miv? Since I see you have a check mark there. Hey, Zero. I was talking up you, Pirate, in Panda when folks were popping in and when CDPR popped in briefly. Oh, nice! I need to get back to The Sims. I finally got in the EA Creator Program. And I just went ahead and pre-ordered the new, like, pack. Because I haven't yet seen a way for us to request a key. Hey, Melissa. I should get back to Wild Hearts because they did give me a key for that. And I've only played a few hours of it. But like Monster Hunter, Wild Hearts seems to be one of those games people either really got into and played nonstop, and now I will never catch up to them. And we can never game together. Okay, Kelly, you can't just yell that and not share the link. Now is that like a licensed product? Not that would stop me, but I'm just curious. Nice. Oh, this is leather and chainmail. Good job, man. I don't need another backpack, but now that you've sent that link, and this will be the one time I will be shameless. My birthday is coming in a little, like a month and 2 days. Wow, I can't math. Hey, Sirius, how are you? Yes, I'm doing a model paint or a mini paint today. I needed something relaxing. I might switch to Power Wash Sim later. Like paint for a while, take a break for lunch, and then come back with Power Wash Sim. Yes, my birthday is April 5th. I don't think I'm gonna do the charity thing this year because it's not enough time to plan it, and also I'm turning 50. I kind of want to be selfish that day and spend the day with my partner. I may stream, I may not. My only plan right now is I've got a facial treatment scheduled to pamper myself. Like full facial wax. Well, I know, but it's still the pandemic. I didn't plan well enough for me and the partner to go anywhere, like go away. And his birthday is Tuesday. And we have not planned anything for his birthday either. Like, we're both failing at Valentine's Day, birthday. Like, we text each other, I love you, happy Valentine's Day, but we didn't do, like, a big thing. What's Vinland Saga? I missed a whole section of leather. Well, it's like, for me, I've always had complicated feelings about Valentine's Day just because of how commercial it is. And the idea that, well, if you don't, like, go broke on Valentine's Day, then you don't love your significant other. It's like, that's not how that works. At all. I mean, Zero, you and I are of an age, and I'm sure Panda and Kelly, where we always saw the Zales commercials, and it was, if you don't propose on Valentine's Day, you're a loser. Don't get her a diamond. And the funny thing is, my birthstone is a diamond. But also, can I ethically buy diamonds anymore at this point? I did not realize that you had worked at Zales. But I mean, I'm talking more of the commercials, Kelly. Also, if you are home and not at the store, let me know if you want to hop on voice. Any of the mods. We can have Friday Morning Chaos. And I can go open the mod voice chat. Also, it is speaking of birthdays, forget my birthday, which is not anytime soon. Today is the French Tuck's birthday. So if you see Tuck online anywhere, please A, figure out their wish list and do them a kindness. And B, please wish them a happy birthday. I don't mind I wouldn't mind a lab-grown diamond. And honestly, it's just also kind of a weird holdover from growing up poor. And when I still harbored the idea to want to get married, and I no longer want that. Yes, I would. What? Okay, give me a minute to finish the hilt and then swap to voice chat. Because we know Discord's going to be like, who are you? What mic do I use? And also, let's be mindful of how many people join. Just because the last time we had, not the last time we did voice chat, but the reason I started restricting voice chat was because some people didn't know. Is this Sprue or is this part of his hair? Oh my goodness, that is Sprue. Whoops. Oh no. Hold, please. Is that his hair? Nope. Is this Nope, that's part of the model. I thought that was some extra Sprue. Well. No, for those that don't have context, I had to kind of clamp down on who could join voice chat when I was streaming because we had people that would hop in and not think about it. I am now in mod chat. Hopefully you all, yeah, I see my. I'm now in mod chat if anybody wants to join voice. And I'm going to find a picture of Geralt that I can add as a... Oh, his armor is so not what I thought it was.